What is up, guys? We've been looking at some build-ups and drops and breakdowns and general arrangement type techniques for Psytrance tracks, and we're going to follow on with that today. And I'm going to show you guys another couple of tricks that I use to create build-ups and stuff like that. So let's jump in and have a look. So last week we looked at how to create like a filter out sort of section and how to do these sort of delay breaks on your drums and kicks and basses and stuff like that. And today what we're going to do is we're going to sort of take that to the extreme, and we're going to create like some crazy build-ups using some different techniques and effects that I've kind of found either in Cubase or using other plugins and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to change up this section over here because it's kind of a repeat of what happens before that. So let us start muting out some of these elements over here and play with what we've got left. I'm sure you guys have heard this trick in a lot of Psytrance tracks where the kicks keep kind of re-triggering and building up till infinity, and they kind of keep pitching up until they create their own tone. And I'm going to show you guys how to create that effect. So first thing you want to do is you want to find an empty space in your project and duplicate the kick samples and create a little clip with about 16, or depending, it doesn't really matter how many kicks you want in there. But the trick is to have a huge section of it. And then we want to bounce that out as audio again. Now the trick is to right click and click process and then click pitch shift over here. And then we want to click on this envelope. And then we want to draw in the sort of curve that we want. And you can click over here to make it more like a Bezier. And now the trick here is to click this time correction algorithm off. So now what's going to happen is as the pitch goes up, so will the frequency of the sort of the speed at which the kicks are being played. So the trick here is to process it quite a few times, and so this does take a bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast forward through this video while I pitch shift it, let's say 3 or 4 times. I think I've got too many kicks in this audio. Oh no, excuse me, you know what I forgot to do is what you want to do is you want to set the semitones up to 16. Otherwise, it's just going to pitch shift by 1. Damn, that was a waste of time. And let's keep doing this. So it usually goes quicker and quicker every time as the audio gets shorter and shorter. So the idea is you want it to sort of break out just before, to leave yourself some gap for like a drop before the kick and bass comes in again. So let's hear what this sounds like with that pad and stuff laying over it. Awesome. So the other effect I want to show you guys is a similar sort of vibe, but using a plugin. And I think the best that this is kind of displayed with is using a sort of vocal sample. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly find a vocal sample. Okay, I found this pretty crazy video on YouTube. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to record in some of the audio and I'm gonna use this effect.
I didn't really know what was going on, but my body was doing things it had never done before, and I was pretty freaked out, but also very curious as to where this would take me. I didn't really know what was going on, but my body was doing things it had never done before.
So I'm just making a sample out of that with some processing and EQ and stuff, just to make life a little bit easier later on, so there's not too much sort of low frequencies coming through when we try to put effects on it and stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this first part for now. We can use the entire segment maybe later on in a different drop, but I'm just going to use the first part here. So I think I actually just want to cut this on out. So let's kind of like shift it on.
I didn't really know what was going on.
Cool, so now I want to bounce this just so it's its own little audio file, and let's put it onto a different channel, and let's pop this waves H delay. So just a warning, I take no responsibility for any speakers that blow in the process of doing this, so I highly suggest putting a limiter afterwards, just because the chances are things are about to get loud. So I'm just going to use the built-in Cubase brick wall limiter, and I'm going to set it to -6, because that is quite a substantial amount of noise to be making. Okay, so first of all we want to turn the dry wet down to 50%, turn this analog setting off over here, and turn this feedback up quite a bit. And then one thing we want to do here is this host button we want to set to milliseconds. What that allows us to do is actually automate the time between the delays, and we can do some pretty crazy stuff with that. So I actually just want to turn off this main synth that comes in here so we can do some crazy stuff. Let's turn the feedback up a bit more. So the trick here is to kind of get it over 100%, but then automate it back down again, because you don't want it to go too crazy and you don't want it to blow your speakers. So let's kind of record this automation in. Cool, now here's where it goes crazy. We want to record automation in of this delay knob here. So often I'll come in and redo this automation just because I won't get it like exactly as I want it in the recording process, but it just helps to get sort of a guideline of what we want to achieve in the long run, you know.
I didn't really know what was going on.
So now I want to record that out as an audio file.
I didn't really know what was going on.
Awesome. And this can also be used like in sort of regular breaks and stuff like that, so you don't have to wait till the main build up and drop to use this kind of thing. I mean, this is pretty cool to use as a sort of synth effect type of thing, because often, you know, while the rest of the track is playing, it'll be hard to distinguish the fact that it's actually like a vocal sort of sample, you know. As always, please hit that subscribe and like button. If you like what I do, head on over to my Patreon and please consider supporting me. There's a couple of different rewards that I offer for my Patreon, so definitely head on over there and check it out. See you guys next time.